Hello, I'm Claire.
I'm Laura.
And we're going to talk you through the Holding Space module of the Functional Kinesiology Practitioner course.
It's the beast.
Oh, I'm so excited about this one.
It's important. It's really, really important. And it's our 4-day. It's our 4-day intensive going in. This is doing the work.
It is. And I actually think that this is our signature work. Like, as much as we are so great at, just going to big ourselves up for a moment, so as much as we are so great at the biochemical stuff, the hormonal stuff,
The nutritional stuff.
we're so great at that in functional kinesiology.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is just, I think this is the real gift in this practitioner course. So as Laura says, it's a 4-day deep dive into emotional techniques. And the purpose behind it is we have seen over and over and over again that, you know, we talk about emotions in Touch for Health, systematic kinesiology, other kinesiology, we talk about emotions and other therapies. And my experience is I could only take a client as far as I'd gone. So I've had, because of my journey, and I know it's the same for you, I shall speak on our behalf, both of our behalves, that the further we have gone in our ability to process our emotions, the further that we are able to take clients. So at this point, there are no human emotions that you or I can't be with. And that's the thing with holding space. Most therapies, most of the time, are trying to take you away from the emotion, trying to make it more bearable, trying to
Overcome fear.
overcome
Overcome anger. Move past it, move through it.
And actually, we don't believe that that's possible because they're just constructs in our mind. And so the more that you try and get rid of them, the more that the mind is going to create new ones. So there's this whole reverse process that we have been working with for over 10 years, that we have been working with clients, that we teach our students, that it's this ability to be with the emotions, regardless of how deep, dark and hard they are. There's a real gift. It's not this running away from, it's a learning how to be with.
Get closer, get closer.
Get closer, get closer. So on this 4-day beast, we call it a beast just because it's this really beautiful, intensive process, and you will come through it changed. You know, you were going to be with doing all these techniques yourself. So you will be changed by this process. And in that changing, you will then be able to support others to change. So on this 4-day intensive, we're going to be going through loads and loads of techniques, but it's more about your process, your personal process. And as you experience the technique and how it shifts things for you, then you'll be able to use it in your clinic to help other people shift.
I think that was the most important piece of information I was given when I first did my training, is work on yourself harder than you work on your clients. Like Claire was saying, you can only take your clients as far as you go. So this module has been designed to take you into your emotional stuff, and it's a really holding experience.
Very safe space. Very safe
Absolutely,
space.
that is, it's a very, very dear to us, that it is a safe space, so that you are able to drop into, okay, so I can recognize that this is my conditioning, these are my issues, because I tell you what, for free, that if you don't deal with your issues, they will come up in clinic. I absolutely promise you. And this is why we recommend in the introduction module that you have a supervisor as you are a practitioner. I mean, counsellors absolutely have a supervisor, because things come into clinic and you can feel it and you go, okay, that's touched something in me. That's my work. I can't be impartial and hold this person through this process if I am triggered myself. So the whole purpose of this module is to identify, it's to really give you the awareness of, wow, okay, these are the reasons that I do things. This is the stuff that I've learned from my childhood. This is the patterning that I've got from my parents. This is the stuff that I've learned in relationship.
And this is how I can choose to do it differently.
And this is how I work with it. This is how I move through it. This is how I move forward. And the 4-day is split. We focus on different aspects on each day. The first day is about embracing fear, because it's what a lot of therapies talk about. Coming away from fear, like Claire said.
Fear and anxiety, and
it's huge in the clinic.
And so many people are on anti-anxiety medications, and anti, get away from. And actually, with some very simple tools and a little bit of coaching and training, we can work through that stuff.
Well, when you look at the hormonal triangle of health, stress is a pillar of that, and underneath stress is emotional work.
Yeah.
And the reason that we've done this, we've done the introduction, so you have that soft landing into functional kinesiology to become a practitioner.
You meet your peers.
Absolutely. And the reason we did holding space next is because you then have the whole year to really use these techniques and really go into all the stuff, and you'll have our support throughout the year to work on this and to get it cleared, because it's not something that happens overnight. It's an ongoing process, but you will be given all of the tools to be able to deal with it. So the first day is overcoming fear.
Yes.
Then it's inner child work.
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And so this is where we get the opportunity as adults who really know who we are to change any conditioning from our childhood that no longer serves us. And we stop looking outside of ourselves for validation, and actually find a way to bring that home. Massive. We give this to clients all the time in the clinic. We do it on ourselves all the time. Fundamentally, one of the most important things I think I've ever taught my daughter, every single client I work with. It's just huge, absolutely huge.
Inner child work, and it's just helped so many of my clients deal with stuck emotional issues that they just go around in circles with. The third day is self-love.
Yes.
A really, really big one.
So important. Because, we go into attack so easily, and so often we don't even know we're in self-attack. So it's really highlighting when we're doing that, learning ways to not do that and come from a place of real deep self-love, because we cannot have boundaries if we don't have self-love. So this is such a process.
It feeds into the clinic. If you don't have boundaries, then you can't really work with clients, because you have to have those boundaries with your clients.
Yeah, really.
Within your own life as well, but it also feeds into the clinic. And then the last day is building confidence.
Which is what most people say. They say, I want confidence. And you go, well, that's great, but we can't get to D without going A, B, C, D. So otherwise it's false confidence. And by doing this process, we're actually giving you this real confidence. And it's really, really exciting, because these are tools and techniques. It's not like you do it once and you're fixed. These are, I wish.
I'm here to heal.
Done.
4 days, go.
You're going to have these tools that you can keep applying this stuff to every single day. I don't feel confident about this. Okay, what tools do I have in my toolkit? And I tell you the bit about holding space I'm so excited about is that when I was training to be a practitioner, in my head, I'm training to be a practitioner. I want this career change. I'm going to go train and be a practitioner. Right, teach me. This is what I need to learn. Teach me. And I didn't really get at the time how big a self-development journey it would be to become a practitioner. And so I kind of missed it. And what I've said so often to my students, to my clients, to other practitioners that we've worked with, is this kind of work calls us into being the best version of ourselves. So, for example, even if you're out for dinner with friends, it's not that you can't choose whatever you want to eat, but there is always this voice in the back of your head that goes, right, well, and not out of other people's judgment, but for self-love is a case of, well, I could eat that, but I'm probably going to have really bad heartburn with all that wheat. So my choice is to do something different. So that's just one way. Or, I could forget to take my supplements out, but actually I'm trying to achieve this particular health goal. So it's almost like we're constantly re-choosing different pathways. And that's why holding space is so important, because it gives us the tools to be able to make those different choices from a place of deep self-love, not punishment, not denial. Be able to set those goals that you work with so beautifully on TFH, but but with some really big chunky tools to actually help you to achieve those life goals. And so this is where that self-development process in the training to become a practitioner is just, it's such a gift, and it's so beautiful, and it's so often overlooked.
And this module, when you're in clinic and you've got someone
Yeah.
who's either falling apart or they're in some kind of anxiety, panic attack, or they're really kind of starting to look at some of their big stuff, this module will give you the confidence to not only be able to hold them,
Yeah.
but to be able to say and bring the things
Yeah.
that is really going to transform
Yeah.
them from an emotional perspective. And you get underneath the emotions and the physical symptoms change.
Yeah.
I've seen it time and time again.
It's just literally like, you're feeling that? Great, let's go there.
Yeah.
Let's go
Yeah.
there. I'm with you. Let's go there.
We talk about being on, we're not doing the work for our clients. We're on the pathway with them. We stand next to them and we know the pathway because we've walked it. And this is what we're offering you, is the opportunity to walk that pathway so that you can stand next to your clients and go, I got this. I know where we're going. Let's go there.
And the reason this is so important is I remember assessing for when I was teaching a different form of kinesiology, and the amount of times that a case that had been brought in for the assessment, that person would hit something emotional, they'd get really, really upset, and then the practitioner wouldn't know what to do with it. They'd either run out of the room to go get a tissue, they'd kind of fluster over it, I could feel their embarrassment and awkwardness. And there is absolutely no way that is going to be getting that client to where they need to go. So this module is absolutely for you to be so comfortable with your emotions and what to do with them and how to work with them. To actually, I call it throwing ourselves into the jaw of the beast, because these days I go, wow, I've hit something, excellent, let's throw ourselves in. Like, it now becomes almost like a challenge, right? What else can I work on? What else can I work on? What can I free up now? How can I clear this? What next? What next? It actually becomes like really, really compelling. And that kind of energy, it stops our clients being scared of their emotions. Yeah, I know, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's holding space.